What is going on, Lake Pro Tackle fam? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. We got a brand new reel in the shop. This is something that I've been waiting since ICAST for. If you were here at the WeCast Tackle Show, where we show you all the coolest gear coming out from ICAST right as it's coming out, right as new information's coming out, you would have seen it. The Bates truck was here, their trailer was here. We were all having a wonderful time, and you were able to check out this guy right here. This is the brand new Bates Salty Hundo 50. So this is essentially the Salty Hundo originally, just a little bit upsized. So this is gonna have a little bit extra line capacity, a little bit different braking system. And I was out yesterday on the water putting this to the test with a little bit lighter line. Now, immediately when I think of the Salty Hundo, of course, not just a saltwater reel. This is an exceptionally easy casting, simple, easy to use, ultra light, ultra durable reel. There's so many words I can use to describe this, but if there was one or a couple words I have when I think about the Salty Hundo, is it is ultra robust, easy casting. And that is very similar to almost all the Baits fishing reels, is the casting on them is extremely easy because they use such high quality bearings, not just in the standard Hundo, Goat Swim, anything like that, but the Salties especially, they use a ceramic bearing or ceramic bearings to really heighten your casting performance. Now, I love cranking. I'm on a amazing cranking bite right now, and I paired this Salty Hundo 150 up with a Daiwa Kage power crank rod, 7'6", medium heavy. This thing has a little oomph to it. This is good for a half-ounce chatterbait. This is great for bigger style crankbaits, anywhere from like 3/8 plus up to like 3/4, almost an ounce. This guy right here excelled, and I'm not gonna sit here on my soapbox in front of the camera to y'all and say this is the greatest reel ever, but do not get this twisted. This is one of the best 150 size reels that I have come across in quite a long time that has extremely easy casting, extreme just sturdiness and durability, and just overall casting performance. I paired this reel up with the Defiant Soft Cast Fluorocarbon in 11.6 pound, and I am getting extreme distance casting with what I started with, a Strike King 2.5 square bill, which isn't even like half an ounce. The bait is big, it's tumbly, it catches wind, and this reel handled it beautifully. And I will tell you, they've made some upgrades to this Salty Hundo here that are not just normally found in the regular Hundo and regular Salty Hundo. So, you know, starting it off, let's talk about some of the changes. Number one, it's going to be a little bit bigger body. The body size did go up just a little bit, and I have a regular Hundo here for comparison. You're gonna definitely see a little bit of a difference, not only in length, but also in height. They also upgraded the handles to be a little bit bigger, and they also upgraded the knobs to be a little bit bigger. Now, I only tested this in a cranking style with the specific rod, with the specific line. I'm going to strip this line off of here, and I'm going to be trying this in a new configuration tonight out on my home lake of Lake Louisville. I'm going to be flipping and pitching and trying to use it a little more precisely rather than casting crankbaits. But I want to tell y'all exactly kind of what I was throwing, what I tested, what I found. And what I found is that if your bait tumbles a lot, and you know, one of the goals on this channel is to, of course, promote the stuff that we bring in, but also keep in mind, we're only bringing stuff in that we really actually enjoy fishing. Doesn't matter the brand. You know, I know there's a lot of Berkeley haters on this channel here. There's a lot of Abu haters. There's a lot of Daiwa and Shimano haters on here. But guys, trust me when I say I tested a wide variety of crankbaits, and I also tested a wide variety of different conditions like wind, casting into the wind, casting with the wind, casting crosswind. I did a lot of that with different baits as well. So I started off with the 2.5 square bill from Strike King. Catches a lot of wind, and that was kind of on the lower side of performance. You know, obviously when you're throwing a crankbait or a jerkbait or a spinnerbait even that catches a lot of wind, it is really, really difficult for a reel to manage how that line is being put out and how the braking system, you know, depending on how advanced the braking system is, depending on how advanced the reel is, can really benefit or negatively benefit some of the overall performance. But I will say this, casting that 2.5 even into the wind, it wasn't terrible. I did have to add a lot of thumb braking onto the reel itself as it was going, and I did have to bump up the tension, which diminished some of that casting performance. One of those other things that I tried, which is a just huge staple in my arsenal, is a DT14. This thing flew like an absolute piss missile rocket. This thing flew, I'm going to say easily over 150 to 160 feet. This guy right here, I don't even know the exact overall specs of this thing. I'm going to imagine it's somewhere in the realm of 5/8-ish of an ounce. You can correct me if I'm wrong. This one does tumble quite a bit because it does have that little bit bigger bill, and it is balsa wood. I will tell you, even casting into the wind, it still straightened out. It felt great. Those ceramic bearings, I could tell, were definitely working in just a little bit as I first started using it, but the casting on it was absolutely incredible even into the wind. Another one that I really want to try is the Chippewa DD. This is from Nishini Lure Works. They are actually out of Canada, and we probably have some of the only supply left in the United States from our last shipment. So if you're looking for some Chippewa, DD, RB, anything like that, make sure to check them out on the website. This one has a blade on the bait and notoriously does not cast ultra well compared to something like a mega bass or compared to something solid like a balsa bait like that. These are exceptional fish catchers though, and one of the benefits to the Chippewa DD, again, is it does have that blade on it, but it does catch a lot of wind, especially casting into the wind. This one tumbled quite a bit. Again, I wasn't getting that maximum casting distance I think I could have achieved, unlike that, just like that 2.5, but unlike this 14 here, you know, it did tumble quite a bit in casting. Now, casting with the wind and crosswind, totally all right. The braking system kept up with the Chippewa DD. Typically, when I set up most of my baits, I have the side braking on like 7 to max, which is basically the last eighth of the braking system, and then I really just set the tension accordingly. Again, this is a lot lighter line as well, so I had to be very, very careful not to backlash really hard for messing up my line. I do like to use a clip a lot. These are the Decoy W clips, I think these are. VW, I think these are the W clips. These ones are great for just switching all your crankbaits out. So I use these quite a bit, especially on my shallower cranks if I need to make a switch on the fly or I don't have a lot of rods. But I was using these for other crankbaits as well. So keep that in mind. I did have a snap on there. Not that it really affects much, but just a variable that y'all probably want to know about. Another bait, which is a classic for a lot of guys that like to fish deeper. This is the Strike King 6XD. This one dives around 19 foot. And this is one of those baits that does pull a lot of water. This is the big American style crankbait where the lips are absolutely just ginormously wide at the bottom, catch a lot of water, have a lot of action. Unlike a lot of the JDM or international crankbaits that are very, very skinny build, like to get out of tune here and there, these guys right here absolutely pull. When it comes to power, which is one of the second points that I want to talk about, power in this reel is unreal. Nothing shifts, nothing flexes. This again is 6061 aluminum. This thing is absolutely rock solid, and I absolutely love these gummy rubber textured, what are they, knobs, excuse me, knobs, and everything felt super, super solid. I mean, bombing cast out there, cranking. This comes in a 7-gear ratio. I'm cranking this sucker down. I'm getting this thing down 19, 20 foot within the first couple, like 10 cranks. I mean, I am working it to death. I mean, the rod is getting like unloaded and loaded in different ways, and this reel just kept on trucking. I did pull some fish out of some super deep water, which is really cool. Skull dragged them in on a not 6XD, on the DT14 actually. I was just throwing the 6XD a little bit to really put this to the test. Another major crankbait that a lot of people like is going to be the River 2C Tactical DD. Very similar to something like a Deep X200, Deep X300, Deep 6. Very skinny bill, gets down super easy, doesn't require a lot of torque and strength to work it down. This one performed phenomenal. If you're looking for an incredible cranking style reel in this 150, you can pack on a lot of line. Again, this is 11.6 pound line. If you go up to like the 14, which is most people's standard for deep cranking with a 6XD, 8XD, anything like that, you are looking at probably one of the best reels in that price range, as well as just overall body. There's not a lot of reels that I can go out and say, I need a 150 size to a 200 size to deep crank. You know, one of my favorites of all time, the Corrado K. You can hate me in the comments, all right? Corrado K, by far one of my favorite 200 size reels. Everything felt super durable. Was a little flexing in that Hagane body, but this guy right here, I think, takes the cake for 150, 200 size cranking style reels. I will say I am looking forward to going to fish with this for flipping a jig, flipping a Texas rig. This is going to hold, I think, personally, anywhere from 15 to 20 pound line. This reel is going to absolutely excel, and you're going to have a blast with it. Now, if you are looking for a replacement handle, this will take an 8x5. So whether it's Gomexis or an SLP or a Studio Composite, 8x5 is what you need for these. But Baits has done something where they're actually, I think, listening to a lot of their consumers, where you're able to very soon hopefully buy replacement handles in different sizes, specifically for the Baits reels. And just like the Hundo and the Salty Hundo, this thing is ultra, ultra light. One of the best in its class, especially for this 150 size. Now, one of the other things I will note, which isn't a con, it's not a pro, this is one thing that I'm really nitpicky about. The tension knob is very, very stiff, and it's something that I like as an angler, to where I know my tension knob's not going to move without me wanting it to move. But, you know, unlike a Daiwa where it's really, really hard to get in there, this one, it's very tight, a little bit harder to move. So if you have some mobility / dexterity issues, you might have a little bit harder time turning this tension knob. That's not to say you're going to have an issue with it. This is just me saying it's a lot tighter than something like a Shimano or an Abu or a Luz. Again, Daiwa's a little special. You know, they've got their little zero adjust. They don't want you touching it. This one right here, it is a little tight. Not a pro, not a con. Just wanted to let y'all know. Everything on this reel feels super, super smooth, robust. I love the just overall braking system on this one. And then one thing that they did change on this one compared to the regular Hundo and the Salty Hundo is that this side plate does not come off now. And it does not have that super SV style spool with the rotor cup on the spool. This one just comes undone, uses a magnetic braking system, and overall, I mean, all the tests with all the crankbaits that I threw was absolutely incredible. I did throw a 1.5 square bill on this. Again, the rod is a 7.6 medium heavy. Don't recommend it. But if I had my normal cranking rod, which is like a 7-foot medium, I think this overall combo would absolutely excel. Again, a little bit more line than I would typically use for a cranking setup. I like a 70 to 100 size on that regular one. On a power cranking setup, absolutely love 100 to 150 size. Now, when this came to throwing, I did throw some 3/8 ounce chatterbaits as well as 1/2 ounce chatterbaits with this lighter line. Definitely not the line I would recommend, but on this exact setup here, it did perform beautifully. You know, casted like a rocket, casted easily over 150, 160 feet. And if I said yards earlier, excuse me, I might catch myself in editing. But overall, casting, distance, I mean, absolutely incredible. Braking, I'm not going to give it as many points. I'm going to give it like 8.5 out of 10, where I really had to control the spool just a little bit. And I think it goes a lot into the ceramic bearings being ultra, ultra high speed, just being able to cast super, super free. That was very nice, but it did get squirrely, especially straight into a headwind. Another thing the last thing I want to mention is, again, durability. absolutely, with all the baits reels, ultra durable. And I will say their customer service is one of the best in the industry, especially if you have any issue with your reel. If you're in the vicinity of Lake Pro Tackle, come in. We can, if we have it in stock, we'll get you a warranty on that. No problem, no questions asked. Excuse me, I just had lunch. But yeah, this thing, the Salty Hundo 150, one of my new favorite reels. It's staying on this cranking rod for the time being until I get on the water later today, but I cannot wait to stick some 16, 18-pound line, go flip around. I think this is going to be incredible. Absolutely incredible, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about the Salty Hundo, guys, these are currently in stock, but let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you like the color scheme? Do you think they misnamed it? Should this just be Hundo Ultra Durable, Hundo High Cast? Let me know. But guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video here at Lake Pro Tackle. See you guys.